On the 21st of October 2020, Majoog speedruns, a top runner for Super Mario 63, was in suspicion of cheating an old run, specifically a no major skips run done with a time of 32:44, due to odd game behavior that had never been seen before. Today we will go over whether Majoog spliced, where he could have spliced, and when exactly. Tune in for the ride, because this is a fun one. This all started when Dignity, a runner who runs mostly 80%, got a best theoretical type segment, or a BTT segment for short, in the main hall of Castle Grounds, and went to find out the time compared to the previous segment. It turned out to be from Majoog's 32:44. When Dignity investigated the segment, he found that Majoog went through the door to Bob-omb Battlefield without triggering the shine animation, which is impossible. Or is it? Well, it is possible for the door to be opened without the shine animation. How, you may ask? There's a multitude of different ways. First, he might have spliced. Majoog might have cut out the segment before entering Bob-omb Battlefield and replaced it with another version, or switched to a different recording altogether. Secondly, he might have used leftover data. What leftover data does is that it saves some of the info while quitting game, so that if you return into the file, or even start a new one, the game carries over some information, for example the course you are currently in. Obviously, this can result in discrepancies. Thirdly, the game might have bugged out. Super Mario 63 is a buggy game. There are high chances of some stuff happening that you never intended to happen during your run. As a result, there is a small chance that the game might have bugged out for him in such a way to be able to open the door without the shine animation. So let's start from top to bottom, analyzing how Majoog might have done it. Dignity, after having a short conversation with Crayon, went to find out if, by chance, Majoog could have spliced this run. He began by downloading Majoog's run and putting it side by side with Verdic's former world record. It was uncovered that Verdic's transition was actually 1 frame faster. Crayon advised Dignity to compare more runs and more transitions to be sure these weren't just faulty accusations. And so Dignity compared these runs with the Gaming 100's personal best at the time. To his surprise, the Gaming's one was aligned with Majoog's run, causing Verdic's to be out of sync. Now you may be thinking, you just accidentally exposed Verdic. But I assure you that I did not, since this evidence is not nearly sufficient. The game runs at 32 frames per second, and the frame rate is quite inconsistent. Furthermore, most speedrunners record or stream at 30 frames per second, causing the recording to skip some frames every now and then. Naturally, this means that when recorded, identical actions may have a slightly different frame count. Now let's move on to the next category, leftover data. Initially, Dignity rejected the idea of leftover data, saying that it was very unlikely that a runner like Majoog would forget to take care of it. After ruling out the possibility of splicing, though, leftover data became a more prevalent option. Crayon discovered that when the game sets the state of a door to open, it does so for all files at the same time. If you start a new file, then this state can be preserved into it. So if you were to play through the game after you do these steps above, the WB door will already be opened. Now for the final and most unlikely theory of all, the game might have broken. There have never been any instances ever that show the game bugging out that way. Since the game has been up for 11 years, surely someone would have had the same bug happen to them. Crayon, after looking into the code, confirmed that there was no way the game could have bugged out and caused him to skip a door animation. So the most likely theory is the leftover data one, which still invalidates the run. This discrepancy must have slipped through the eyesight of the moderators while adding the run. Hopefully, they can learn from their mistakes. Shoutouts to Crayon for all her contributions during the research. Links to her social media will be in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.